Dave's in Manchester. Hello, Dave.
Hello there, how are you doing? Okay, good evening.
Good evening, Dave. Now, it's interesting that we're talking with you because you've called us in, but you're a Lib Dem, you work with the council, local campaign organiser, but you've done research into MPs' expenses, is that right?
That's correct, yeah. Firstly, I've just got to say, just on the sexting,
yeah,
it's quite clear that Danczuk had no idea that she was 17. Until far down the conversation, and I think it was disgusting. But we always said that was irrelevant. If Danczuk wasn't breaking the law, then that was fine. But when we did some research and we found out that Danczuk was claiming £29,000 a year, that was for his London flat. Something that sort of light bulb went off in our head, and we contacted IPSA, and they reported that Danczuk was claiming for 4 children, and they pointed out, and I said, well, what do you mean that he's claiming for 4 children? And they said, well, he's got 4 children that routinely lived, 4 dependent children, that routinely lived with him in London. And I knew that to be patently not the case.
Wow.
I knew that Danczuk had hardly seen his his 2 eldest children, and so that's where this all started.
These are from the 2 eldest are from his first marriage, yeah.
Yes, yes.
2 from his first, 2 from Karen.
Yeah. So this refers to the 2 from his first wife, Sonia.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where this all started, and I reported him to Greater Manchester Police. I reported him to the Met, and I reported him to IPSA, because MPs should be transparent. They should be brutal, irrespective of all this sexing stuff. Here was a man who we knew to be fraudulently claiming this money. Now, I must say that I was the political agent for Paul Rowan, who was the MP in Rochdale, who Mr Danczuk beat to gain the seat for Labour. Now, Paul claimed 44p for a banana, for an intern. And Simon Danczuk had his staff, one of them including Karen Burke's brother, the one that
yep, I know the one.
They were dressed as bananas, chasing our staff. We had to call the police at one point. This is a man who ran a whole campaign on expenses abuse because the former MP claimed 44p. He is an absolute hypocrite. Now, he was on TV today. I watched the interview, and I knew him to be lying on several points. The first point, he said that IPSA, as a direct result of his case, IPSA were going to review the rules. That is not the case.
Yes, he did say that. I mean, when you say lying, I mean, we have to be careful with that word, of course, but you're not comfortable with what he purported to be the truth, just to take the edges off that a little bit. But yeah, he said that as a result of his claim, IPSA recognised that it was all a bureaucracy and the forms were very complicated and they were going to change the rules. So not true.
Not true. Now, he also...
Not change the rules, change the forms, I think he said.
Yeah, I mean, I received the full IPSA report, and let's be quite frank about this. I think that the whole authority of IPSA is under threat with this whole case. Yep. Mr Danczuk has... Now, he has to pay back £11,000. Now, he hasn't got £11,000, so he'll have to put a payment plan together. Fair enough, I accept that. But I was speaking to someone in Rochdale today. I'm helping the local Liberal Democrats, Andy Kelly and the team. I'm helping them run the local election campaign. Now, I can tell you, the other thing that Simon Danczuk said on TV today was people in Rochdale are supportive. He's not. I was listening to one of your callers a few minutes ago saying that the people of Rochdale should be knocking on Mr Danczuk's door. They are. There was a march in January where hundreds of people turned up to Mr Danczuk's office. We ran a petition, Rochdale Liberal Democrats. We ran a petition. We're basically saying enough is enough.
What is the law on this, Dave?
He is the number one.
What is the law on this? Because I remember Nick Clegg, when the coalition was formed, making a lot of noise about this recall your MP thing. What happened to that?
Yeah, I don't know. It was one of those, I think, that got left by the wayside. There was a lot of sort of electoral sort of or Clegg's brief that didn't actually happen, because I know that there was a lot of opposition. I know that Zach Goldsmith is very keen on this law, and it should, the people of Rochdale should have an opportunity to have their say. Now, I know that the people in Rochdale will have their say in the local election campaign. That's by and by.
But you have to wait till 2020 to unseat Simon Danczuk.
Yes, but we're making this a referendum on Simon Danczuk. He still has the full support of the local Labour Party. The leader of the council, Richard Farnell, personally wrote to Jeremy Corbyn, pleading with him to give Simon Danczuk a fair hearing over all this Sexton issue. And people in Rochdale are absolutely disgusted. You've just got to look at the various forums on social networking. We speak to people. We are on the door.
So your sense is, Dave, and we should point out you are from a rival party, so there is some sort of interest, isn't there, from you guys to try and unseat him. But nonetheless, you feel there's momentum, genuine momentum, at local level around his position as a member of Parliament.
Put it this way: Rochdale has just been a report by the Joseph Rowntree Foundation, and Rochdale has been named as the most declining area in Britain. It's going backwards now. You would think that would be the number one issue on the doorstep. You would think that the state of the streets would be high up on. But people want to have their say about Simon Danczuk. Now, I've spoken to, in his political career, Mr. Danczuk has just walked out in the same way that our staff. I mean, when Simon sent his team in to basically sort of, intimidate
Bananagate
my staff, our staff. We had an 82-year-old lady who was in. It was just scared witless. Here was these people ranting and yelling over a 44p banana. Now,
and anyone who knows how expenses are put together, no MP ever said, "Oh, I think I'll claim for a banana." It just sits in a pile with everything you've spent down at the local tuck shop, and that's how it gets put into the pot. So whether it's a 44p banana or a Kit Kat, cup of tea, whatever, etc., it's your weekly or your annual X's. Listen, Dave, I have to stop there just because of time. That's been really informative stuff, and thank you for calling in. Dave Hennigan, who is a Rochdale Lib Dem member, but he works with the council and local campaign organiser, and they're, of course, hell-bent, and why wouldn't they be? They're an opposition party, in unseating Danczuk.